Hi guys, and welcome to the second episode of the 10 Minutes to Beat the Bullshit podcast with myself, Chris Jones, and the awesome Tiny Titan, Vicky Marchetta. How you doing?
Morning. I'm all good, my man. How are you?
Yeah, good weekend. And that's actually had a few discussions with people about the topic we're going to be discussing today, which is around the free-from market, the gluten-free, dairy-free, anything nice and tasty-free, basically.
Excellent. It's a really interesting subject, this one, and I really like it because it's funny, right? Because I'm a celiac. So a celiac does actually mean that I have a medical condition that I cannot tolerate and digest gluten products. All right. But all of a sudden, well, it's not really been all of a sudden, as it's been for a while recently.
Last 5 years, 10 years, probably, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. People are saying that in order to lose weight, take out gluten. In order to lose weight, take out dairy. You know, in the last 3 weeks of contest prep, especially for bikini athletes, God damn it, if a bikini athlete has a tub of yogurt, well, do you know what? That's it. Prep's ruined, right?
Yeah, well, I was told to cut out dairy because it holds water, which is...
Oh, it holds water. Oh, right. That's I haven't heard that one. But yeah, fair enough. Okay, so let's get into like beating the myth of the free-from products then. So what were you talking to a couple of people about this weekend?
Well, actually, it was I was out on a night out the weekend there, and I've got talking to someone who was introduced to me, and she was doing the usual various different fads and things like that. And our nutritionist, this was actually a nutritionist, had told her, you should probably cut out gluten, and the usual cut out gluten, cut out red meat, because and that there might be something there because I think she's got really bad arthritis, and I don't know if having too much red meat could have an effect there. But the gluten thing also coincided with losing weight, but then that was because usually when people go gluten free, they probably at the same time tend to clean up their diet anyway, so they might eat less processed stuff and have more fruits and veg. And I don't think she even used the free-from products. She just went, everything was organic. Like, she didn't buy the packaged stuff. So straight away, I was like, well, yeah, you probably lost quite a bit of weight. And she's like, oh, I did, actually. And I felt better for not having the gluten. And I was like, well, you probably felt better because you lost weight. But it wasn't the gluten, because you've just taken away a lot of probably higher calorie foods that you might be consuming too much of, and replaced them with nice lean protein and veg and fruit. So you're going to lose weight anyway. But it was like a bit of a brick wall trying to get that point that it wasn't the gluten that done it. But that seems to be the kind of the perception that everyone's got. And yeah, I mean, the packaged products are ridiculous, because my barber, which I don't really go too much anymore, to be honest, he's a celiac as well, and he hates the products, like, because they're more expensive anyway. But he made me try, I think it was like a scone, like a gluten-free scone, and scones aren't meant to be that sweet, really. But it tasted like Battenberg cake. It was so sweet and sugary because they have to put stuff in, because when you take out gluten, it tastes like shit. Yeah. So and he was like, I don't even like eating it, but I need to have it. I want a scone, so I have to have it. I hate the taste of them.
It's really annoying as well, isn't it? Because like you were saying, the gluten aspect of it, gluten, for people who don't actually know what it is actually the protein that it's binding, right? So if you take that out, especially like, let's say bread, for example, right? If you take protein out of the bread, or the gluten out of the bread, it loses that elasticity into the dough. Right? So what happens is first of all, you get a really crumbly product that tastes so starchy. And you know, like when you eat bread, if you just actually do you remember when you were a kid, actually, and you did these scientific experiments about the amylase in your mouth, and you just put a piece of bread in your mouth and just kept it there for as long as you possibly could, and it got all salivary and disgusting, but it started actually tasting really, really sweet. You don't get that with gluten-free products. They break up, and it actually just kind of stays in this really dry kind of texture into your mouth. So quite honestly, if you are not a celiac and you don't have to have the bread products or the free-from bread products, then don't have them, just kind of go without. But the other thing that I would actually say in terms of like the products that are the alternatives, should I say, is one, they taste like shit, so I'd probably just, go for the one thing that I would say is really tasty actually as a gluten-free products is sweet potato wraps. Those are really nice. And I use those all the time. They're really quite nice. But the myth about going gluten-free in order to lose weight, the reason why people get so many good results from that is because realistically, they take out bread and they take out pasta and they take out various other bits, but they don't go completely gluten-free because they don't know how much gluten is in certain products. Like if they make a homemade takeaway, for example, and put soy sauce all over their stuff, that's got gluten in it. So you're not actually going entirely gluten-free. Mustard, for example, has got gluten in it. So, there are lots and lots of different things, but the industry of marketing has kind of like latched on, like we were talking about protein added food last week. The marketing aspect has really latched onto this weight loss phase about going gluten-free. And it's really funny because, the Tilda packets of rice, microwavable Tilda packets of rice.
Yeah, you were talking about it,
Yeah, very, very convenient. It's just like, okay, great. But even celiacs, I actually had a conversation with somebody last week who was a celiac, and he said, oh, I've just got to go for things that say gluten-free on them. And I was like, what do you mean? He says, well, I can only have the Tilda packets of rice that say gluten-free on them. I'm like, dude, it's rice.
Yeah.
A packet of basmati rice. It's cheaper and it's nicer, and it's actually lower in fat and lower in shit.
Yeah.
They add in oils and various different things. If you have a look at a packet of Tilda of rice and it says half the pack contains something like 5.1 grams of fat for 125 grams of cooked rice. And I'm like,
which is nuts.
Yeah. And it's like, why? You're actually adding in more calories by having these pre-packaged things, but you're being sucked in because it says gluten-free. So if you're trying to go gluten-free just to lose weight, you're probably going about it the wrong way.
Plus, you're also doing yourself a disservice when you take out, tends to be when you take out gluten, like say bread, then you're losing you're losing a lot of the benefits of that bread anyway, like the nutritional benefits. So all the B vitamins, iron and all those things get stripped out. And if you can eat normal, healthy bread, well, I say healthy, normal bread, then just stick to that. Because I think I said it to one person before, what do you do with your B vitamins and your iron and things like that if you don't eat a lot of red meat and you've stripped all the gluten out of what are you doing in terms of replacing that? And you get a bit of a blank look.
Yeah.
Like, well, I've taken out the gluten, so that's healthier. I'm like, no, it's not.
No,
it's not. It's like you've just your bread that you're now eating, like you said, when you taste it, nothing tastes right, and it's devoid of all those nutrients that you've stripped out. So, and most people, if you actually ask them what is gluten, they don't know.
Exactly.
But it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's bad for you. It's bad for you. No, it's actually it's pretty good.
There's actually a good study. I will find this one this week. I think I was reading it last week, and it's what they done with people who were gluten sensitive, like almost self-diagnosed, right? Gluten sensitive, and they were giving them placebo products. They were giving them ones with gluten in them, and on every single product, they reported, "Oh yeah, I don't quite feel right on that." So it was like a nocebo effect.
Yeah.
So that just shows like the people can have that perception that they can create that in their head, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them when it comes to gluten. So I will dig that one out because that is a really good one. And actually, I presented that to someone before, and they just sort of was like, "No." Like, well, so what are you telling me I'm a liar? I was like, I never said that. I'm not saying you're a liar. I'm just saying though, it's quite common for people to create that in their head. Like it's in your head sometimes. No. I do feel like shit. I'm like, right, okay.
Yeah. It's funny that with you saying that, I think we should do something on this one as well about having about mindset. Mindset is extremely
Yeah.
powerful. And if somebody, it's like if somebody, I'm just trying to bring it back. So I'm not talking about an eating disorder, because I always kind of bring it back to that because it's very, very easy to relate to. But it's about the self-fulfilling prophecy. But if anybody's done anything about psychology, the self-fulfilling prophecy, if you look at yourself in the mirror so many times and just keep on saying, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, I'm ugly, sooner or later, you're going to actually start to believe it. And
yeah.
there was a very famous film and a very famous study about a guy called Walter Mitty. I don't know if people have actually heard it or not, but you can actually see that you're living in the world of Walter Mitty, or Walter Mitty land. And it's because Walter Mitty was this person who just basically told all of these elaborate lies that he was a hiker and very, so that to the point where he actually believed this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you keep on saying to yourself, I'm intolerant to gluten, I'm intolerant to dairy, I need to do this, and you're going to start to believe it, because mindset is extremely powerful. And no matter how many scientific evidences you can put in front of these people, they're just going to say, no, that's it, I believe it because this is what I have been ingrained to do. You know, it's almost like Hitler brainwashing. You know, I'm not saying that obviously the marketing and gluten-free products are saying that we're brainwashing them like Hitler, but you know, it's the same kind of thing. So very quickly to kind of wrap this up then, free from products, what do we believe? Why should we use them? Why shouldn't we use them? And what's the bullshit that we're beating?
Well, if you are, well, we know if you're celiac, it's like a no-brainer. No question. You can either just not buy them and just go more organic, whole foods, and just that's fine. If you are just looking to lose weight and you have no diagnosed condition, then just stick to the cheaper, tastier, packed full, more vitamins products. It's or just cut down the consumption of those products.
Exactly. So if you're doing it for weight loss, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. If you are medically diagnosed as having an intolerance to either gluten or dairy, and by the way, there is no such thing as a carb intolerance. If anybody tells me that they're carb intolerant, again, fucking hell, I'll tell you what. But anyway, if you are not medically diagnosed, you're all good. Get yourself a fully fledged gluten-free, gluten-packed, bacon sandwich with gluten-packed tomato ketchup.
Extra gluten. Yeah, exactly.
And wash it down with a glass of milk.
Yeah.
Right, cool beans. Right, that's it from us, guys, for another 10 minutes to beat the bullshit. If you want us to beat the bullshit on any other myth, then please put it in the comments below. Ask myself or Chris any other questions, and we'll be on hand to answer them. Chris, good to see you as always, my man. Catch up next week.
Cheers. See you later, guys.
Bye.